My precious one, the appearance of angel 6666 often coincides with periods when you've become unbalanced, perhaps overly focused on material concerns while neglecting spiritual nourishment, or conversely, so absorbed in spiritual pursuits that practical responsibilities suffer neglect. This celestial guardian reminds you that authentic spirituality embraces both heaven and earth, both contemplation and action, both being and doing. Angel 6666 carries wisdom about sustainable living, not merely environmental sustainability, though that forms part of its concern, but sustainability of the soul's journey through time. It teaches that spiritual growth follows natural rhythms rather than forced acceleration. That meaningful service springs from replenished reservoirs rather than depleted resources. That authentic presence requires both engagement and restoration. From Angel 6666, we learn to recognize false dichotomies that fragment our experience. The artificial separation between sacred and secular, between work and worship, between ordinary moments and divine encounter. This angel reveals how everyday acts of care, done with mindful intention, become spiritual practice. How attentive listening transforms casual conversation into sacred exchange. How faithful stewardship of material resources becomes expression of spiritual values. As you journey with Angel 6666, you gradually develop internal compass that naturally seeks balance without external prompting, recognizing early warning signs of distortion and making small adjustments before major correction becomes necessary. This represents the angel's ultimate gift, not perpetual dependence on celestial guidance, but development of wisdom that naturally flows toward equilibrium, mirroring divine harmony in your own being and relationships. In numerological tradition, repeating numbers carry amplified significance. The sequence 6666 combines the energies of number 6 magnified fourfold, representing harmony, responsibility, nurturing, and the delicate equilibrium between material and spiritual realms. Angel 6666 stands as guardian of this sacred balance, reminding us that our earthly existence and spiritual journey are not opposing forces, but complementary aspects of wholeness. When Angel 6666 makes its presence known in your life, whether through recurring number sightings, dreams, or intuitive awareness, it arrives as messenger of perfect equilibrium. Unlike angels of dramatic intervention or revelation, Angel 6666 operates through subtle calibration, gently adjusting perspectives and priorities that have drifted toward extremes. Its guidance whispers rather than shouts, inviting realignment through small, consistent choices rather than momentous transformation. In gentle rains that come after drought, in rainbows emerging from storm clouds, in first light after darkest night, renew my trust in your promises. These natural reminders of hope embedded in creation itself speak to your character, that destruction is never your final word, that renewal follows devastation, that beauty emerges from chaos just as it did in the beginning when your spirit hovered over formless waters, Lord of ocean depths. As I stand before vast waters that connect continents and cradle mysterious life forms in lightless trenches, expand my understanding of your unfathomable nature. The ocean's surface reflects sky while concealing entire mountain ranges and ecosystems beneath, a perfect metaphor for partial human comprehension of divine fullness. What we grasp of you, like what we see of oceans, represents mere surface of infinite mystery. The tide's faithful rhythm, responding to Moon's gravitational pull with ancient predictability, reminds me that some forces operate beyond human control, yet with perfect reliability. So too, your faithfulness continues whether recognized or not, whether convenient or challenging, drawing creation toward ultimate fulfillment just as surely as tides respond to cosmic choreography. In ocean currents that distribute warmth around the planet, in marine migrations that follow ancient pathways, in the water cycle that connects mountain glacier to valley stream to expansive sea to life-giving rain, I witness the extraordinary interconnectedness of your creation. Nothing exists in isolation. Everything participates in sacred relationship. Help me recognize my place in this intricate web of mutual dependence and shared destiny, keeper of creatures in the astonishing diversity of animal life, from microscopic tardigrades to massive whales, from short-lived mayflies to centuries-old tortoises. I glimpse something of your inexhaustible creativity and delight in varied expressions of being. Each creature manifests unique adaptations perfectly suited to its ecological niche. Each reveals another facet of divine ingenuity. From the salmon fighting upstream to return to its birthplace, teach me holy persistence. From the murmuration of starlings moving in breathtaking synchrony, show me the beauty of communal coordination. From the caterpillar surrendering to radical transformation in chrysalis darkness, help me trust processes of change that temporarily dissolve familiar identity en route to new embodiment. Even in predator-prey relationships and nature's seemingly harsh realities, I discern wisdom about interdependence and the circle of life that includes both death and rebirth. The wolf-culling vulnerable deer strengthens the herd. The fallen tree becomes nursery for new growth. The composting leaf nourishes soil for spring emergence. Nothing is wasted in your economy. Everything serves the continuing gift of life. God of day and night, in the reliable alternation of light and darkness, I recognize your provision for the full spectrum of existence. Without night's darkness, stars remain invisible. Without winter's dormancy, spring's renewal loses meaning. Without death, ecological systems stagnate rather than regenerate. These complementary opposites create wholeness rather than contradiction. In a culture that prizes constant illumination, productivity, and certainty, return me to the gifts of darkness, the fertile soil where seeds germinate, the night sky that reveals cosmic perspective, the fallow period that prepares for future abundance. When shadows lengthen in my experience, help me receive these times not as divine absence, but as invitation to different modes of perception and trust. When Angel 6666 enters your awareness, it brings invitation to examine life's ledger with compassionate clarity, not to induce guilt about imbalance, but to illuminate pathways toward wholeness. It asks gentle but penetrating questions. Have you honored both body and spirit as sacred vessels? Have you given generously without depleting your essential resources? Have you maintained boundaries that protect purpose without constructing walls that prevent connection? Angel 6666 particularly concerns itself with family and community relationships, as number 6 traditionally associates with domestic harmony and nurturing responsibility. Its presence may signal need for attention to these connections, perhaps restoring neglected bonds, establishing healthier boundaries, or bringing more conscious presence to roles you occupy within relationship webs. To work consciously with Angel 6666's energy, consider creating small rituals that honor balance in daily life. Establish transition moments between activities, allowing brief pauses to release previous engagement before entering new context. Create physical spaces that support both productivity and restoration. Develop practices that honor body wisdom alongside intellectual understanding. Cultivate relationships that both challenge and nurture your authentic self. Notice moments when you've drifted toward either excessive asceticism or indulgence, gently steering back toward middle path. Angel 6666 responds to sincere invitation. When you recognize imbalance and genuinely seek realignment, this celestial guide draws near with subtle correction and supportive presence. Not through dramatic intervention, but through persistent, gentle recalibration. Angel 6666 helps restore the sacred equilibrium that allows your unique purpose to unfold with grace and sustainability. Just as nocturnal creatures navigate confidently through darkness with senses attuned to their environment, grant me capacities for spiritual perception when rational certainty dims and familiar landmarks disappear. In seasons of confusion or doubt, may I discover what can only be known through darkness, the contours of faith that transcends intellectual grasp, the guidance that comes through deeper listening, the companionship of stars revealed only when sun sets. Throughout scripture and spiritual tradition, your presence appears in fire, burning bush that spoke Moses' name, pillar guiding wilderness wanderers, tongues of flame at Pentecost, refiner's fire preparing precious metal. In my own journey through crucible moments, may I emerge not merely changed, but clarified, my true essence more evident for having endured transformation's heat. Divine gardener of souls, as seasonal shifts transform landscapes from spring's tender greening to summer's full expression to autumn's glorious surrender to winter's skeletal simplicity, I recognize parallels in my spiritual formation. Each season serves essential purpose in the cycle of becoming. Each brings particular gifts and challenges. Each prepares for what follows in natural progression. In springtime periods of my journey, when new insights bud and possibilities unfurl with fragile beauty, protect emerging growth from premature exposure or harsh judgment. Nurture tentative beginnings with gentle encouragement and appropriate boundaries. Help me recognize that spring's work is primarily root development and foundational strength that enables future flourishing. In summer seasons of abundance and productivity, when ideas bear fruit and efforts yield visible results, guard me against confusing temporary abundance with personal merit or permanent condition. When gifts flow through me to nourish others, keep me mindful that I am channel rather than source. In harvest times, cultivate gratitude that celebrates without attachment or pride. In autumn passages, when familiar forms release and certainties fall away, when relationships change, roles conclude, or beliefs require revision, grant courage to participate in necessary letting go. As trees release leaves not in failure but in wisdom that conserves energy for winter survival, help me discern what must be surrendered to preserve essential life force for seasons ahead. In winter stillness, when visible growth ceases and landscape appears barren, when inspiration feels distant, progress imperceptible, and familiar consolations absent, assure me of your continuing work beneath the surface. The seed requires darkness and cold to prepare for germination. The fruit tree needs winter dormancy to bear summer abundance. The human soul needs fallow periods to integrate experience and prepare for new becoming. Lord of cosmic time, as I contemplate night skies revealing light from stars that traveled millions of years to reach my eyes, expand my perspective beyond immediate concerns to your eternal purposes unfolding across cosmic history. The light of distant galaxies reminds me that present reality contains both ancient past and seeds of future not yet visible. That I participate in story far greater than my individual experience or limited time frame. The gentle presence of Angel 6666 often encourages a deep introspection regarding inner harmony. It prompts you to assess the various facets of your being, mind, body, and spirit, and identify areas where discord might reside. This angel whispers encouragement to cultivate practices that foster inner peace, such as mindful meditation, conscious breathing, or engaging in activities that bring you joy and a sense of centeredness. By nurturing this internal equilibrium, you become a clearer conduit for both earthly experience and spiritual insight. Angel 6666 also illuminates the crucial balance between giving and receiving. It reminds you that selfless generosity is a vital aspect of spiritual growth, but it must be coupled with the ability to receive with grace and gratitude. An imbalance in either direction can lead to depletion or stagnation. This angel encourages you to open yourself to both the flow of abundance and the opportunity to offer your gifts to the world, creating a harmonious cycle of exchange that enriches both yourself and others. The influence of Angel 6666 often manifests in a call to integrate spirituality into the practical aspects of daily life. It transcends the notion of spirituality as solely confined to meditation or religious observance, inviting you to find the sacred within the mundane. Whether it's approaching your work with integrity, nurturing your relationships with compassion, or tending to your home with mindful care, Angel 6666 encourages you to infuse your everyday actions with spiritual intention, blurring the lines between the earthly and the divine. Reflecting the harmony inherent in the number 6, Angel 6666 often draws our attention to the perfect balance found in the natural world. Observing the cyclical rhythms of nature, the changing seasons, the ebb and flow of tides, the intricate ecosystems can offer profound lessons in equilibrium. This angel encourages you to connect with nature, allowing its inherent harmony to serve as a mirror and a guide in your own pursuit of balance and sustainable living. The stars that guided ancient travelers and inspired timeless mythologies still shine as constants in a changing world. The constellations recognized by ancestors millennia ago remain faithful reference points for modern navigation. So too, may I orient my journey by timeless values and transcendent truths that provide stable coordinates in cultural landscapes of shifting opinion and temporary obsession. When my own significant concerns threaten to consume perspective, let celestial immensity remind me of proper proportion. Not to diminish genuine human suffering or joy, but to place these experiences within larger context that both humbles and comforts. I am simultaneously smaller and more significant than my ego perceives, part of a vast creation yet intimately known by its creator. If you found this exploration of Angel 6666 insightful, please consider giving it a like, sharing it with others who might benefit, and subscribing for more content like this. Amen.